We got our next author. Hold on, did I do it? I did do it. We got our next author, Jack Ike. We had them very recently. We had them in the 2400s, basically. 2439. 2439. Well, which one was that one again? 2439. Oh, it was a D class that was containing some eldritch horror by themselves. Like the Foundation didn't even know about them. It was a D class only. Yes. That's what it was. Okay. Jack Ike, you wrote One Man's Garbage. Nice. One man's garbage is another man's come up. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna find some tags. I'm gonna pop some tags. Got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome. Up your class Euclid. Special containment procedures revision. Number 2. Dash 1 is to be kept at Lunar Area 32. We need to look. Ooh. Okay, there's the first SCP of the Lunar Area 32 that we got to see. I see there's going to be a couple more coming up. It's designated containment chamber located 100 kilometers away, accessible by high-speed rail. This feels so different with the Russian national anthem. I'm pretty sure any reading of mine feels different with any type of music. Dash 1 is to wear Dash 2 whenever outside the designated containment chamber, and is to be restricted from attempting to leave the chamber until it is ensured. Dash 2 is correctly secured. Dash 1 is to be provided with 3 meals each day, transmuted to antimatter by... Whoa, that thing just jumped the gun. It's like, yeah, it gets 3 meals each day, also becomes antimatter. Transmuted into antimatter by use of designated devices received from 2493. I assume the meal becomes antimatter, not the SCP itself. Dash 1 is to be psychologically evaluated twice weekly and medication to be administered as required. A list... Damn, the moon has more high-speed rail than in the US. I wonder if the US will ever fix their rail systems. I'm glad I live in countries that have actually good trains. I love train rides, especially like Swiss train rides. My favorite. I love driving per train anywhere in Switzerland. A list of Dash 1 requests for update. Wait, a list of Dash 1's requests for updated containment procedures is to be submitted to the ethics committee on a bi-weekly basis for review and approval or rejection. Proposal to resign approved requests are to be submitted to the ethics committee. Any other attempts by staff to impede approved requests will result in severe reprimands at the discretion of the Overseer Council. The full list of approved and rejected requests are outlined in Document 1. Approved and rejected requests by SCP 2493-1 for updates to containment procedures. And here we have the revision 1. So this is how it used to be. Let's see if it's how different it is. It seems like it'd be very different. Dash 1 is to wear Dash 2 at all times. Dash 1 is to be kept in its modified humanoid containment cell at the Lunar Area 32. The cell is to be filled with pure helium gas at a pressure of approximately 20 kilopascals and kept at a temperature of approximately 280 Kelvin. The interior of the room is to be kept above a minimum of 270 Kelvin to ensure continued biological function of Dash 1. The interior surface of Dash 1's containment cell is to be padded with a 3 cm thick layer of soft rubber. No sharp corners or points are to be present within Dash 1's cell, as such corners or points are to be removed or padded. In the event of Dash 2 becoming punctured, it and Dash 1s are to be immediately jettisoned from the facility. MTF Gamma 4 Blonde Beard Crew is being notified to adjust the trajectory of the anomaly as required and to prevent it from entering the Earth's atmosphere and causing a UK-class global irradiation event. Dash 1 is to be supplied at least 2 kilograms of waste matter daily to a maximum of 10 kilograms. Once weekly, a signal requesting contact is to be sent through the extra-dimensional anomaly located on the rear of Dash 2 by use of a 4MHz megahertz radio wave. The entity is also to be under surveillance at all times, and any attempts to hinder communication with the entity location of origin are to be reported to the site director immediately. See Addendum 3. A list of -1 requests for updated containment procedures is to be submitted to the Ethics Committee on a bi-weekly basis for review and approval or rejection. Proposals to resign approved requests are to be submitted to the Ethics Committee. Any other attempts by staff to impede approved requests will result in severe reprimands at the discretion of the Overseer Council. The full list of approved and rejected requests are outlined in Document 1. I have to check something real quick. Document 1. Approved and rejected requests by -1 for updates for containment procedures. Okay, so that was special containment procedures. Now we get to the description. At least it's not like the last time Kosovo, last week, where we had that one fucking novel of a of a special containment procedures. Remember that one? God. Description. SB2493 is a collective designation for two components, -1 and 2. -1 is a male humanoid entity approximately 1.7 meters in height and weighing approximately 95 kilograms. -1 is composed entirely of antimatter, but physically appears to be an ordinary human. -1 responds to the name of Joe Smith and claims to originate from an alternate dimension composed primarily of substances with similar atomic composition to his. Psychological evaluation of -1 has revealed that it suffers from nostophobia and an obsession with completing their mission. See addendum. Nostophobia has a footnote that says, the fear of returning home. That is a thing? I mean, okay, there's like, I can see some people preferring not to go home because of like maybe their home life being absolutely horrible. But I didn't know there was an actual phobia for that, you know? Makes sense though. It makes sense. I think the moment you have a fear of something, a phobia for that can basically become a thing. -2 is a suit composed entirely of a previously undiscovered and currently poorly understood substance that -1 refers to as a buffer. By the way, I think after this one, I'm going to go ahead downstairs real quick and get myself a bottle of water, because we're going to be here for a while. Superficially resembling an airtight Type 1 hazmat suit, this substance is entirely non-baryonic in nature, uniformly reflects all wavelengths of electromagnetic radiation, resulting in a mirrored surface, and is also capable of preventing interaction between matter and antimatter. These properties prevent the contents of anything composed of this material from being examined by use of X-ray scanning and severely impede physical examination. The material comprising -2 is flexible in a manner comparable to rubber, but has texture consistent with polished metal. An impermeable barrier replaces the substance around -1's facial region, serving as a two-way visor. The interior of the suit is also capable of emitting light from an undetermined source, and will do so upon instruction by -1. Wikipedia describes it as the opposite of nostalgia. Kind of makes sense, I guess. Because like home is like, especially a childhood home, it can be very nostalgic for you, right? So maybe that's what. On the back of -2 is a multifunctional backpack that serves as an air recycler, a method of exchanging resources obtained by -1 for canned provision, and an airtight input for canned provision. And here a footnote again. This feature has now become non-functional, see addendum 3. -1 has never been observed to physically ingest these supplies. The entity states that this is attributable to nanites present within the interior of the suit, which constantly reassembles small sections of food within his mouth whenever available. It is theorized that the device is connected to -1's reality of origin via a stable extra-dimensional anomaly in the device, as is the only reasonable explanation of how the provided waste material can be converted into edible substance composed of antimatter. Sorry. You know what I'm excited about, guys, is the fact once we're done with today's stream, we have reached a new milestone tomorrow. We have read another 100 SCPs which I'm excited for. I'm always excited for the 100 milestone, and I'm especially always excited for the 1000 milestone, because then like hitting a new series is always like a lot of fun. But for me, hitting a new 100 SCPs is like, for me, like almost like a fresh start as well. So I'm excited for tomorrow. And then one information summary. The following is a list of information regarding -1's origins obtained during several interviews. It should be noted that the only source for such information is the entity itself, and as such cannot be confirmed to be factual. See Addendum 3. -1 originates from an alternate reality, henceforth 2493, and consisting entirely of antimatter. The Society of 2493 has access to or has developed technology that is significantly more advanced than that of our own, with such technology requiring large quantities of electrical energy to operate, typically exceeding the range of petajoules on a daily basis. You will be halfway through Series 3. Exact. That's another reason why the 2000, like the 500 is always exciting, because like it's the halfway point, right? So that's what I'm saying. Tomorrow is going to be really exciting. Technology within 2493, approximately 200 years ago, 173 years ago, produced large quantities of waste materials as byproducts of their operation. Such technology has since been adapted to recycle their waste materials. These produced waste materials were transported to a poorly understood location of abnormal geometry, described as being physically located between two of the three axes present within normal three-dimensional space. After an undefined period of time, 40 years, the inhabitants of this space began transporting their own waste materials to 2493. With several described objects exhibiting anomalous phenomena sufficient to be classified as SCPs. This prompted the inhabitants of 2493 to develop devices capable of severely hindering the transit of such waste material. An unidentified object, presumed to be of abnormal geometric origin, initiated an XK-class vacuum decay within 2493. Technology developed specifically to counter such scenarios spontaneously activates, protecting a small portion of SCP-2493 from the event. However, such technology is required to be powered continuously in order to sustain such protection. Numerous working-class citizens of 2493 have been deployed to alternate realities to obtain matter and transport it back, for the purpose of powering antimatter reactors. Man, the -1's world has gone through some shit, huh? Addendum 2, Recovery Interview Log. Interview -1, Interview Researcher. This interview was conducted shortly after the acquisition of the entity, before the antimatter nature of -1 has been confirmed. Okay. What is the suit you are wearing made of? There's no atoms. Why are you detaining me? We need to ask you some questions. Why do you need a suit? Because you were made of antimatter. -1 speaks from the perspective that he's composed of matter, and by extension that everyone else is composed of antimatter. That makes sense. 1 + -1 equals fucking boom. Would you care to elaborate upon your objective? I grab some of your stuff, send it back home. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as I send it back. What do you require the resources for? Fuel. The explosion makes a lot of energy, which can be turned into electricity. I need to get 2 kilograms minimum of antimatter per day. I think that's how much they said will keep everything powered, at least. Or was it 5? What are you referring to? Mainly home electrics, water recycling, food production, and vehicle electricity. There's some more important things too, so you could please let me get back to work. If you're made of antimatter, aren't you aware of the ramification that will occur if your suit is punctured? I die and my employers lose their supply line. It was on the contract. It's an acceptable loss, considering they can't just find another source. It would be safe to simply send you back. If you cooperate, we should be able to devise a method of sending you back. You don't need to send me back. I'm fine here. Just let me stay. Why shouldn't we send you back? It's safer here. From what I've seen of here, we've been ahead of you in regards to technology for ages, but you've been able to handle waste much better than we did. We got lazy and sent it off to some vague location between dimensions for a couple of years, but it turned out there were things living there. Wasn't there 2 SCPs that we read? Like, one was like a portal to another reality where the Foundation was trying to cooperate with them, but then of course the Foundation pissed them off, so they closed that portal off. But there's another one that also talked about like sending waste, like waste being sent to the to the Foundation's reality. There's a lot of like stuff like that where like, oh yeah, there's a portal and something or someone is sending their trash through it. There's things living there, and seeing as we were fine with sending them our garbage, they seem to have decided to send their garbage to us as well. You know what sort of things that beings from between dimensions consider garbage? Yeah, that's true. They could consider a lot of like crazy things garbage. End block. Closing statement. Theoretical calculations of the interaction of 2 kilogram masses of matter and antimatter as described by -1 will produce 360 petajoules of energy. In comparison, the three gorge Dam in China, the world's largest power station as of writing, produce 356 petajoules of energy per year. Questioning -1 in regards to technology necessitating electrical input at this magnitude on a daily basis is currently underway. And now we have event logs. On contact with 2493 was successfully established by use of a 4 MHz radio wave transmitted through the extra-dimensional anomaly located on the rear of -2. The superiors of -1 apologized for the extended period of time taken for them to respond and requested to speak to -1 personally. Several -1's claims as well as additional false claims were requested for confirmation to ensure that cooperative disinformation could not be attempted. All claims made by -1, detailed in Addendum 1, were clarified and confirmed as true, with all additional false claims being denied. The -1 was allowed to communicate with his superiors and was noted to praise Lunar Area 32 staff repeatedly throughout their conversation, promoting trading prospects. On negotiations for trade between representatives of 2493 and the O5 Council was conducted. It was agreed that in return for additional information regarding Solar 2493 technology, the Foundation was to provide a continuous supply of matter in the form of waste material. The bulk of this waste material was sourced from the 5 major ocean gyres and various global landfills. The majority of the information received from 2493 was oriented towards containment or destruction of anomalous entities, specializing in entities, objects, or location with abnormal geometric properties. Additional information enabled large advances in medical science and artificial food production. Kind of funny to think about, like, that the Foundation has now a source of higher technology by giving them trash. Schematics for an antimatter reactor were also utilized to create the prototype FAM reactor. Further negotiations were conducted to obtain controlled amounts of antimatter from 2493 in return for random samples of modern music. On Lunar Area 32 received a transmission from 2493 stating that several devices critical to the continued existence of 2493 were failing due to the physical strain due to the extended usage. The Foundation was informed that while maintenance would delay total failure, 2493 was expected to be destroyed within a year. Several weeks later, a second transmission was received stating that the devices preventing 2493 from receiving waste materials from the location of abnormal geometry had outright failed, and that 2493 was now being overrun with severely detrimental anomalous objects. Oh shit. Staff at Lunar Area 32 was advised to prepare to receive several objects essential to ensuring -1's continued biological function. Several devices constructed of the same material as -2 manifested a short distance outside Lunar Area 32, including a large room with airlock capable of safely containing -1 in a vacuum environment, which has since been relocated away from the area, connected via high-speed rail and further reinforced. A large burst of digital information was received from 2493, primarily consisting of historic records of 2493, photographs of various regions of 2493, and several schematics for devices capable of recycling various non-biodegradable materials into reusable resources. All information received has been archived as required. To date, no further transmissions have been received from 2493. They're fucking dead. They're gone. Eviscerated, evaporated, all of it. Yeah, that's no problem. You do you. I'm not gonna be leaving anytime soon. Don't worry about it. Another man's trash. One man's trash. Trash is another man's. What does Macklemore say here? Usually, one man's trash is another man's come up. Oh, that's what he says. Well, I think trash is gonna work a lot better here, because meaning that what was discussed as a worthless might be relevant to someone else, potentially leading to a positive outcome. Actually, no, come up. You know what? I will use that. Man's come up. In this case, could save an entire reality from extinction. Although it sounds like it wasn't enough. It's funny how like Katz was like, I'm gonna learn the Russian accent real fast, and I wouldn't say mine is like 100%, but I think Russian accent is like one of the easier accents to copy. Personal opinion, like that's just me though. So good luck to Katz for that, because like I think it's always interesting, right? Everybody has a different accent that they find easier to do. For me, Russian is probably one of my easier ones to do, imitate. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get myself some water, and then we continue with reading. We're almost at the halfway point after 1.5 hours. But yeah, I'll be right back.